Hey YouTube. Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Kivo.
And it's your boy Mr. K, known as Mr. K Frag, whatever you want to call me.
Let your nuts drag. Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But anyway, man, we're back with another video, man. And today, man, we're going to be talking about some interesting topics and a lot of interesting things that's going on in the world right now. Uh, is as you can see, my twin brother right here, he got a new appearance about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
looks
Hey,
different. He looks different. He don't look like my brother. He look like a whole
yeah,
different person.
yeah, man.
But
Hey, we coming different, man. As we, grow in this, YouTube, as we grow in our YouTube channels, we will not just grow in just, content. We'll grow in image. The image that we, that we,
present.
that's perceived on these videos, the image
Hmm.
that we show, that we give out, uh we want to grow as well when it comes down to our image, right? So
Right,
I'm
right.
just coming today, with a suit,
Yeah.
nothing too crazy, a little jewelry, a little watch, ring, little
Some your
little
camera just
some.
froze up. Your camera froze up for some reason. Oh no,
Oh,
it's
my
back.
bad.
It's back. It's back.
Okay, my bad. Okay, yeah, man, we just coming with you know new things, and as we grow, we have to grow our projections, and
Yeah.
this is just growth right here,
Yeah.
Eh,
I applaud you, man. You look real professional, man. You look
thank
real
you, thank you,
professional,
thank you,
showing
thank you.
good professionalism. You make me want to put on a goddamn suit, man. I don't look like I'm supposed to be on this screen with you, my nigga. Goddamn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you,
Hey,
man. Look, if you change your like appearance, but you can't get on this YouTube stuff just in a regular t-shirt, man. You gonna be like
right,
everybody else regular, man. You get into something like this, people gonna want to listen to you more. They're gonna think you know something, right?
right,
So that's all it is, man.
right,
People judge by appearance all the time, man.
right.
I done got
Well,
the new camera. I done got the new mic.
yeah,
It's even very professional here. We got
yeah,
the images showing on the background. Seems like a real YouTube setup.
yep. But without further ado, man, if y'all watching the video right now, please subscribe. Please give this video a like. And we're gonna be talking about some interesting topics, like I said, and just go in the comment section. Let me know if y'all agree or disagree with anything that me and my brother is saying. But anyway, the first topic, I'm gonna go ahead and let my brother start it off and speak about it.
We're gonna be talking for a long time. So, uh, so what we're doing is we're gonna talk about what recently happened in society. Uh, so the update happened yesterday. We had the Senate passing, right? Because at first, you know, um, Trump proposed the bill. It was called the Big Beautiful Bill. Now, this has not actually happened yet, by the way. I do want to say that this has not actually happened, by the way.
Right, right,
Right? It has to go to the House, and then the House has to pass it, right? But it has been passed by the Senate, right? Um, the vote is 50-50 from the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. The tie was broken by VP JD Vance, and only three Republicans voted no. Also, I want to mention that. Uh, it's a 1116 page, uh, written by billionaires, uh, that basically it's that's a part of this bill. The bill is very lengthy. Um, so what me and my brother are going to do today is we're going to talk about the bill. So let's talk about what's actually in the bill, right? We just know it's called the Big Beautiful Bill. But why is it so big? Why is it so beautiful? Right? So when we look into this bill, right, Trump has Trump 26 2017 tax cuts are now permanent, right? That's what happened in the bill, right? So what happens is you have 4 trillion in cuts. 40% goes to the top 5%, right? So if you're the top 5% of earners, that's who this bill going to apply to. The SALT cap raised from 10K to 40K mostly benefit high earners. Now, we want to look at what is the SALT cap later on, right? We're going to get into that. But also, it says that the estate and business loopholes locked in, and meanwhile, the poorest 20% lose 4% of their household income. That's not, you know, I guess they say that's not trickle down, that's a siphon. So, we're going to, before we get into this, right, I want to understand what all of this mean, right? Before we really get into what we're talking about, right? So we're going to do some more analysis on what just been talked about, right? So, so to really get into this, okay, so let's talk about what it's really talking about, right? So they say that Trump 2017 tax cuts are now permanent. Of course, we know that, right? $4 trillion in cuts, right? So this is the estimated total cost of extending the tax cuts over the next decade is about 4 trillion, according to some projects. And also, this means 40% of the benefits from the tax cuts will go to the wealthiest 5% of Americans, those with the highest income, increase wealth inequality. So basically, this is increasing wealth inequality. When 40% of the benefits from the tax cuts would go to the wealthiest 5% of Americans, right?
So does that mean that in the next 10 years they're creating more of a economy that benefits the people that's in the top echelon of in life when it comes to money?
Exactly. So I thought that this bill at first was helping, well, actually putting tax on the rich, but it's not.
Hmm.
It's all about tax cuts. You talking about $4 trillion in cuts over the next decade? Trillion? There's no man in this world that own $1 trillion. $4 trillion in cuts.
That's a lot of money. That's a
That's a
lot of
lot of money. Not only top of that, you have 40% goes to the top 5%. So 40% of the benefits from the tax cuts goes to the wealthiest 5%, basically increasing wealth inequality. It's like Donald Trump is now trying to make just rich and poor. And also what it does is you have a state and local tax reductions, right? So the salt
right,
cap that
right,
I was
right,
talking about
right.
is raised from 10K to 40K. And it mostly
And
benefits.
oh, go keep going.
Yeah,
My
and I was
bad,
about to
didn't cut
say
you off.
it mostly benefit high earners. Raising the cap to $40,000 mostly help wealthy individuals in high tax states
Hmm.
who pay more in state local taxes, allowing them to reduce their federal tax burden, right? And also, estate and business loopholes locked in. This refers to the tax breaks and loopholes for wealthy estates and businesses being kept intact, right? Basically they're little methods that they have so they don't have to pay this tax and pay this and pay that. That's basically what it is. And reducing their taxes even further and often enabling generation wealth transfer with less taxation. Also, meanwhile, the poorest 20% loses 4% of their household income. So basically, while the wealthy
Can you
gain from
repeat that again? You said who loses?
the poorest 20% lose 4% of their household income. So it's like the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer with this bill.
Mm. I just want you to repeat that because I want y'all to hear that again, man.
The rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer.
That's a sad,
The
sad
we talking
world.
about the bottom 20% losing about 4% of their income, which they barely already have. And I mean that's probably not as much because I mean if let's say somebody got $100 and they lose 4% of that, they're just losing $4.
Hmm.
And that but see that's how they look at it in their eyes, right? But let's just say a poor income household probably gonna make around $30,000, right? Now if you was to take 4% from those households, right? You want me to do the math? That's around 1,000, probably $1,200 that they're losing out, right? They're losing $1,200. $1,200 can do a lot. Can do a lot in a poor community. That can pay rent for a month put lights in the house, and put food on the table. And
Put clothes on somebody's back.
yeah, yeah,
So essentially, from what you just said, he's basically making it harder for people to become wealthy.
yes. And also, I want to mention this for people to say, well, 1,200 ain't nothing. 1,200 is my whole rent. But when you have we're talking about low income households, right? Where in some places in the South, people pay probably the 750, 600 to $750 worth of rent, right? And you might have utilities included into that, right? And then they got an extra $300-400 left. They can put groceries on the table. And not that they might can both buy their baby some little shoes for 30, 40, $50.
And
So at the end of the day,
mhm.
$1,200 is at least something. Some people don't even get that for Christmas.
No,
I never got $1,200 for Christmas. And actually, let's do the math of because let's just say hypothetically $30,000, right, is a low income household, which I think that's around, and actually, let's look up what is the salary a year, and you can cut this if you want, for a low income household. I told you what I told you. $30,000. $30,000. I told you I was right. I didn't even have
that
to
is
look.
that with the man and the woman? Is
So
it
that's
two
that's
parent
that's a
household,
that's a house of four. That's
house
a
of
house of
four?
four.
Mm.
We talking about a household. We just not talking about a single unit, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
that's so
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was talking about the kids, the groceries, all these
Uh-huh.
different things that we
And
need.
let's also add in that he's doing all this with the bill
And
and
look how good I am. 1,200. I didn't even have to calculate it. I knew it was 1,200. Damn, this is that math shit that I got in me. I mean, cut that. This is that math that I got in me.
mhm.
We can't have profane words as much on this podcast, especially if we want to go commercial, especially if we want to go do big things. We have to take that out of our vocabulary. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. Uh and not to add in that this bill will also affect people that's on government assistance, like SNAP program, uh, Medicaid. So people with that $1,200 being deducted a year, including not having good Medicare coverage and not having SNAP programs. I don't know if they still gonna have it or if it's not gonna be as much, they ain't gonna invest in much money in the SNAP programs, but those little programs helped the lower class people. So with all that being said and added, it's gonna be a tough time for people out here.
Oh yeah, and I definitely agree.